Bedford Games. Yup. Bedford Games, let's fucking go. Bedford Games, let's put on a show. Bedford Games, you already know. Bedford Games, we're going 6-0.
We're live. We're good.
That was worse.
That song really gets you motivated.
It might have been worse in person.
All right, Tambo Time Nation, welcome back. Another Tuesday. What you're looking at here is more of the idea of what Tyler Pike and I had to begin with.
It was the OG idea.
It was the OG idea. Derek filled in for a little while. While Tyler was out playing women's sports, and now Tyler can fully commit to the show. So sure. Tyler's got his co-host seat back, right. And we gave Derek some time off to relax and think about who he wants to piss off next time he's on the show. So, but joined by me, my crack producer Ben, and special guest today, CJ Burke. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks for asking me to join, even though it's for drama. Because Tyler likes to cause it.
We'll get into that, but no, thanks for joining us. Would you drive 2 hours to get here today?
Yeah, I had a work training thing in Canton, Mass.
Jeez.
And yeah, it took me 2 hours to get here, and I still beat Pike.
What do you do for work?
I know, I showed up last today, Ben. You were here when I got here. I was in the house before you, though, so I don't know how much that means. Okay, yeah, go ahead. What do you do for work?
I'm a merchandising manager for Home Depot.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, so they sent me to Canton. I work out of the Methuen store.
Okay.
But today we had to go down to Canton for some training that I wish I didn't have to go to.
All right, that's fair. So you can get buddies discounts if need be?
I don't even get a discount.
What?
Yeah, they don't give employee discounts at Home Depot.
What a scam. That's why I go to Lowe's.
I didn't hear that.
All right, CJ. Well, thanks for making the trip. And, before you guys bust CJ's balls today, just know he drove 2 hours to give us an entertaining show today. So back to Pike getting his co-host seat. What I did was said, all right, here's some power, let's say, some responsibility to the show. Tyler's always asking to do more. He says the fans want it. I'm like, okay. So really? I told Tyler he could be in charge of guests and little segments. So naturally, Tyler, first thing he did was he forced CJ to come up with a top quarterback list. CJ was reluctant, and Tyler actually threatened him and said, that's the only way you're getting on the show, buddy. And CJ felt forced to do it because he's been wanting to get on the show. So that's the story behind it. Evidently, we have a top 10 current quarterback list. Is that correct?
Yes, active players only.
Active players, top 10 list. All right, you want to dive right into it? You got some honorable mentions?
Yeah, I got some honorable mentions. But
okay.
First, I want to ask Pike, if you were making this list, would you put yourself on it?
I've made. If I was presenting it, I would say off the top. I'm not putting myself in it. I would not
top
do
10.
It.
You won't.
No, it would just be Cam Lauren, all the way down.
Hey, buddy, that kid's been throwing well.
He has, bro. He has. I'll give him that.
I mean, you wouldn't look like a jerk from putting yourself in the top 10.
This is the reason I have never. I've made a list before. You are the only one who's seen it. You, Derek, Ben, but I don't know if you actually looked at it. But
I tend to ignore all messages you send me.
If you go look back at some of the lists I've made, I will literally write in all caps, excluding Milkman Black players, just so people. I don't like getting into that. But no, I was actually going to tell you when you're making the list. I said you can put yourself in it if you think you're in it. Like, so it.
I didn't put myself on it.
No, I noticed. But yeah.
I think I still have a lot of room for improvement, especially after last night.
How long have you been playing quarterback for?
Quarterback?
In flag, let's say.
When I first started playing in Bedford almost 3 years ago, I was a quarterback. And
okay.
We sucked.
Yeah.
We were like 0-8 our first session, and we started on Wednesdays too, so it's not exactly the easiest option.
Yeah.
Over time, we just realized I'm not a quarterback. I never played quarterback. I was a receiver in high school.
Yeah.
So Timmy and Jay Michelini, I went to high school with them.
Yeah.
So they just ended up joining Mondays, so I stopped playing quarterback. But then when Timmy had the kid, I was waiting for it. I was waiting.
A little late to that party, Ben, but jeez.
Once Timmy had his kid, it was kind of like Jason Olsen just looked at me and was like, "You should just do it again." And I fell in love with it after that.
Sure.
I hated it to begin with.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard as hell. Everybody's looking at you and shit goes wrong, but I got used to it, and I kind of fell in love with it after that. I'm definitely not top 10. I don't think I am. There's definitely 10 players I think that are better than me, obviously.
Okay. All right. Well, you wanna dive right into the list?
I suppose I will start with my honorable mentions because, so like we said, it's active players. So I got to bring up Red, even though he is not currently active. I definitely think if he was active, he would obviously be on here. Jimmy Sanford from Rage, right?
Yep.
He was Rage, yep. Again, not currently active, but definitely top. Randy from Yo Mamas. Again, not active. I put Art. I don't know. I'm not even gonna bother saying his last name. Azet Yance. I think.
No.
So
sure.
I did not know he was actually playing in Bedford until last night when I saw him playing. So I didn't think to put him on the list until last night when.
Well, he's been filling in for
Right.
us, so I wouldn't say he's in, and it's been a little while, so it's fair not to put him in there.
So if he stays, then I'm sure this list changes.
Sure.
And another name too that isn't playing now but did play is Jay Charles too. So he played for just at least a little bit of time. So I think you named 5 people that you said might be on the list, but they're not active, so they're not on there. So if all 5 of those play, I think all 5 of them are no doubt in the top 10.
100%.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
So I did this based on 4 things, and I ranked them. So it was agility, arm power, play calling, and accuracy.
Okay.
And in that order. So accuracy, I think, is the most important thing that a quarterback needs to have. You can, have shitty play calls, but still be able to put the ball exactly where your receivers have to get it. All right. So
I'd like to say you're already ahead of Pike's list. You put more thought already.
well, listen, I had a 2-hour drive to get here, so I had a lot of time.
Oh,
to
you
think
put it
about
together during the drive?
No, I was thinking about it the whole time up here, and I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I need to give my reasons.
No, that's fair. I lied. That's 4 great reasons.
So at number 10, I put Justin from Whack Pack.
Okay.
So I debated a lot for number 10 until last night when we played Whack Pack, and I just realized the kid's got all 4 of those things. He had like 10 seconds to throw on every play, and every time we played them in the CK tourney as well, and it was the same thing. Like you couldn't sack the kid.
Yeah, rushers seem to have a very hard time with him.
Very hard time, and I mean he puts the ball exactly where his receivers need it. And he made some insane throws yesterday that I just looked over at like everybody else inside. I was like, what does our defense do on that? Like he just made a crazy throw.
Yeah.
So number 10, it was like a lot of people moved on and off of it, but once I saw him play again last night and he embarrassed us last night, I had to put him at number 10.
Yeah, no doubt. I think he's definitely he's so young too. He's got to be. I don't know if I think he might be 18. He might be even younger than that. So he's just really entering his new level of play. I watched him play in the youth league, so it's a whole different game going to the men's league. It's like a whole different speed. Everything's different, and he's definitely ascending a lot more than some of these other guys just because of how young he is.
He's adjusted very well.
I think
Definitely.
Because they've already been in A's. I think the more he play, he's gonna need to get a little bit stronger of an arm. I think that's gonna come though when he gets a little bit older. I don't think he has the best throw power. I think he's got a nice touch pass, and like I said, I mean credit to these kids. They're all young and they're all playing together. They're all getting better.
They've been in the A's?
I think they played a session. Yeah, they played us.
Okay.
I think their first session on Mondays they played in the A's.
But this kid is definitely on the up for sure. A lot more than other people.
Right on.
All right, number 9, I put Zach Elliott from Mambos. Again, just a guy that can literally not get sacked. It's insane. He just runs in circles, runs around rushers. The reason I put him at 9 mostly was because I don't know how consistent he is sometimes. So, I mean, he played us in the championship, like Dirty Birds in the championship last Monday session, and I think it was the greatest game I have ever seen him play. And he was just putting the ball, listen, when you got Trey as a receiver, it's hard to not hit him, but he was putting it exactly where Trey needed it, and his play calls are really good. He confuses the shit out of our defense half the time. So that's why I put him at number 9, and that
Yeah, I watched that game too. I even commented on it. Like, he is a top quarterback when he plays like that.
Right.
And there's no doubt. And it's almost unstoppable to a point. And it wasn't just Trey he was throwing the ball to. He was throwing the ball to everybody in his team accurate, you know. I get Trey has a big window, but he was hitting the little guys too,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was a good game to watch. I enjoyed that game.
I did not.
I know, but it was a fun game to watch. It was a lot back and forth. To me, I said it was two up-and-coming quarterbacks, you know, just battling it out.
Do you think his best part of his game is his mobility?
100%.
I would say I haven't watched him too much, but it seems like from just what I hear about him, his mobility is
He
definitely.
can still
what
put the
puts
ball
him-
like where it
Yeah,
needs.
no doubt. Yeah,
His agility is
yeah,
number one.
Yeah.
What do we got? Do we want to look at comments? I can see him going crazy over there yet.
I don't think
No?
there's
Good.
too many yet.
Nothing good to bring the show.
I'm just seeing
I see a lot of comments.
I know. I see a
Ben
lot.
doesn't-
No, Ben, there's actually nothing like here.
Everybody who commented, Ben says your comments are not good enough to make the show.
Nothing related to right now, other than Alex is wanted Danny on the show when we're talking about the guests, and then
No,
Danny,
Pike did not
and then-
want Danny on
No,
the
I
show.
actually, no, I
And
swear
he's
to
like,
God,
at
nobody's
this
gonna
point, I've
believe me.
given up hope.
Nobody's gonna believe. But if CJ said no, I was probably gonna reach out to Danny next. I was gonna say
I'm rooting
center
for you,
list.
Danny.
Let's go.
I'm rooting for you.
Danny
yeah,
wasn't
there
the
you
first guy to hit up on his birthday.
I was just.
Oh, I
Gonna
didn't know what.
say.
Yeah, but
Shout out, Danny. Happy
hadn't
birthday.
walked him
Hey,
before.
speaking of which, shout out Danny. Happy
You heard it here first. Tyler hates Danny.
All right, if you guys are wondering where Ben's going to be later, he's going to be at the GOAT, so go beat him up for not reading your comments. All right, number 8,
Number 8, Jay Townsend.
Jay Townsend.
Yes. Now, not the most mobile of people, but that's why I put agility kind of at the bottom of like the skill list for quarterbacks, because there's quarterbacks out there that can just stand there, Tyler Pike, and just throw the ball. So Jay Townsend's play calling is really good. I mean, there's been times where I'm playing and I'll walk off the field like after a shitty drive or something, and he'll just come up to me and just give me like 4 or 5 plays, and I'll go out there and the next drive we'll end up scoring. So his offensive mindset is the reason I put him at 8. He can definitely still make the plays. He can make the throws, and I feel like any team that has him at quarterback is just better for having him there.
Yeah, in the 5-man, he's done well. You know, he's sometimes inconsistent, which I think is my knock on him. You know, we kind of joke that first half he sucks, second half he does really well, and you know, never a full consistent top to bottom game with him. But when he's on, and his play calling's pretty good, and he is pretty accurate with the ball.
Sure.
I do like Jay at quarterback. Obviously, he plays for Too Nasty, so obviously I don't think he's a schlub.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him at 8.
All right. Number 7, I got Omar from Young Ones.
My favorite.
Yes. So Omar, I've been playing flag for 3 years, and I remember like when I first started playing Young Ones, we always used to just like not care that Omar was throwing the ball. But now I feel like when we play them, it's Omar's game. He has gotten like so much better than from what I remember him. Not even accurately, just like his play calls are good. Obviously, he can run outside the pocket and piss off defenses too. So that's kind of why I put him at 7. I put him a little bit lower only because like it's consistency sometimes. Like I
Yep.
feel like sometimes he overthrows guys he shouldn't overthrow, but listen, we all do. That's not a knock at him at all.
Sure.
That's why I got him at 7.
Yeah, he's gonna smack me for this one, but he used to look like a receiver trying to play quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Now he looks like a quarterback who can play receiver. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's come a long way in a short amount of time, and I give him credit, and I try to help him the best I can. And he plays with me. I love the dude. You know, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying, and it's you slept on them because they really weren't that good till he figured it out.
Right.
Because they have pieces, they have a very good team. They're definitely gonna spank Yo Mamas when Yo Mamas comes back, and they're gonna do it with Omar
Heard it
throwing.
here first, folks.
All right, but yeah, I like him at 7. I might put him higher, but I like him at 7.
All right, number 6, got to go with the Dirty Birds. Timmy Michelini.
I love Timmy, man.
Say it. Do it.
Kid.
Do it. He's
Yeah.
looking for it.
Why don't you have that queued up?
You got to have it ready.
Because you
did you
have
really
to hit
think?
allegedly 45,000 times.
Did you really think I was going to do a top 10 list without Timmy? Come on now.
know where he's gonna.
Yeah, Timmy is honestly, Timmy's the reason that I stayed playing quarterback. He taught me a lot just offensively. His play calls are good. He's agile. He can throw the ball deep. He can throw it accurately. The reason I put him at 6 mostly is the consistency. And I love you, Timmy. Don't hate me for that. I think he's on the Blitz podcast right now, so he's not watching.
Oh, are they doing it tonight?
Yeah.
All right, don't worry.
think
There's,
so.
there's 2 listeners. Don't worry. That
I think,
podcast is so boring.
I think Timmy ranks, I would say, number 1 in arm power. I think he is the biggest arm in Bedford. I think he can throw it end zone to end zone.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't always mean a bunch, but I think with him, he's so accurate too when going deep
Yeah,
too.
and it doesn't matter
crazy.
who the receiver is.
Yeah, no
It's
doubt,
there- it's
no
there.
doubt. It is, yeah. That's my top thing with him. I think he's got a cannon. I think he's accurate when, going deep too. So that's his number 1
I
for
saw
me.
it. Jason's probably mad at me.
Do have a couple comments. Alex says Omar takes top 3 mobility category for QBs in the building easily. And then Mason says CJ said I had 10th
Yeah.
as of 9 p.m.
So last, I was really hoping Mason wasn't gonna watch the show because
Why
last
would you
night.
tell him?
Well, because I had just finished the list like that night, and I had Mason at 10, and I walked up to him, I was like, "Yo, I got you at 10," and then Justin just pissed me off and just beat the hell out of us.
I'm surprised you didn't put Mason in honorable mention. I thought you would at that point.
Honorable mention, Mason. There you go.
I mean, if it helps you out, I don't think Mason's top 10.
So the reason I honestly didn't even say honorable mention, Mason, I love you, but he doesn't play quarterback consistently enough. I see him line up at receiver a lot more than I see him line up at quarterback, and that's not saying he's a bad quarterback. Even last night watching his game, he was playing receiver. He does the double quarterback thing a lot, which he's good at. I wish he would have done it for us.
Was it his team?
I think so.
Playing?
I actually don't know.
Okay, because he's on a lot of teams that won't let him play quarterback.
True. I wish he played like that in the CK tourney for us though.
He's an explosive player. He does well, but I wouldn't put him on the top 10 yet. He's got to work his way out of the C division, and then we could talk.
Yeah, me too.
I think the division in which you play definitely should hold some sort of, you know what I mean, some sort of weight in this category.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, sure.
All right, so Timmy at 6. Number 5. And Pike's loving every moment of this
Here
one.
we go.
Yeah, oh yeah. This Pike
We have now
hasn't,
entered the top 5.
Pike
Yes,
hasn't
we
stopped
have.
smiling because he forced somebody to do the list he wanted to do.
He did.
No one has touched this category yet. This had to be done. Someone had to do it.
I'm not getting flamed yet. All right. I got Johnny Sr. at number 5. Now, the only reason he's at 5 is because they were gone for a while. And honestly, I have not seen them play since they've been back. But I obviously remember that guy as someone who played corner. You can't defend him. He puts the ball exactly away from you and where his receivers can get it. And his play call, I don't even know if he has play calls. He just lines up at the line and says a number, and his guys just know. It's impressive. I wish I could. I line up at the line and try to tell them a play, and they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, I hear that's a little bit of a knock is the play calling on their end. It's not as diverse, or there's not as many options
though.
as some of those guys would like.
It works.
But
Yeah, if it works, it works.
We just played them the other day. They're rusty. I know that.
Of course.
But they're better than how they played against us. But
It isn't.
I agree. I wouldn't go top 5, but I think top 10 for sure. No doubt.
I would say it's fair. I like him in the top 5, but
I'm going to call Pike. Or actually, I'm going to call Jay Townsend out because he's the one who told me to put him at 5.
No, I like him at 5, and in my opinion, he's Mount Rushmore quarterbacks in Bedford. Of
course.
In my opinion, overall. But this is a current list, correct?
Yeah.
I'd still put him in top 5.
Okay.
Until I see him really start slowing down and him really start not playing well.
Yeah.
You can't judge it off of one bad game this season so far. Which
No,
which
definitely,
we'll talk
definitely.
about. Obviously, you're
Okay,
itching
here
to
we
bring
go.
that up. But stop
I
stepping all
told
over
him.
your boy.
I told him before that game.
Stop.
I told him.
We're moving on. We're keeping it on the list, Tyler.
All right, number 4.
Eye on
Who's
the
number
prize.
4?
Number 4.
Number 4. So, Jared Williams. And I'm going to put healthy. Not that he's not healthy right now, but he's obviously got to shake the rust off a little bit, and he's kind of playing with ball busters. Not that.
Yeah.
So, once he gets back with his guys like Cam and even when he gets back with Too Nasty, Jared brings an offense to this league that I don't think many people do.
Yep.
And as someone who's played with Red Death, his offense is insane.
I think it's unique too. I don't think
unique.
anyone else really runs
No.
an offense in like he does. You know what I mean?
Right. And he can still sling it. He can move. Maybe not as good now
Yeah.
because of post ACL, but Jared is probably one of the best play callers in Bedford.
Yeah.
He just brings an offense that not many people see,
Yeah, I
and he elevates the guys around him too.
Oh, absolutely. He's a good leader, good motivator. believes in his guys. I think he's one of those guys who, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's really ever played football before. So
No.
he kind of learned here. And when you learn here, you get creative with play calling.
Yeah.
You start doing unorthodox things.
I think though playing in even if it's 11 on 11 or any other format, I think it helps you. It helps you view this game as much simpler. I played for a session for Dirty Birds, and when we played in, I don't think you were on the squad, but it was in. I think it was Hooks It. It was 7 on 7. Like you play in there, and then you come back to Bedford, and you're like, oh my god, 5 on 5 seems like it's 1 on 1 everywhere. This seems awesome. Instead of sitting in a bunch of zones, got to read a bunch of defenses. So I think there's good and bad things to that. But with Jared, I always felt like. I feel like you hate to see him get hurt, especially I felt like he was kind of hitting his stride, like really, like, you know what I mean? And I used to think he wasn't that great of a pure passer, but I think as he started playing more and more, especially like right before the injury, I really thought he was exceptional at running and throwing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you hate to see it, an injury at that point. But yeah, there's no doubt. We all know Jared. We all know how good he is and what he brings to Red Death.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, and he's gonna yell at me for this one, but I mean, and he might even agree with me. Right now, I wouldn't put him top 4.
That's why I
think right, but the list was right now.
True.
Potentially for sure. No, I'm not trying to poke holes in your list. Trust me, it's not easy doing these.
Liar!
I'm just I gotta. First of all, I get yelled at for every list on the show. Okay, I
here
at
we
least
go.
have to.
I think this
you
guy
stop
takes
it.
the least heat.
You wish. I think Jared potentially and his capability of being in the top list, top 5, top 4 quarterbacks. Current, he just has to obviously get back to where he
sure.
was. So, I'm not knocking the pick, no matter what Tyler says. All right, top 3. Let's hear it.
All right, Pike's ready for this one.
Here we go.
Tyler Pike.
Couple-
Oh,
couple
go ahead.
comments.
Oh, I already said it. Everybody heard it.
Go ahead, Ben.
Alex says Jared is fantastic at play calling and execution, but honestly, it's his spirit and the want to elevate the players around him more than focusing on himself that puts him above the rest.
That's true.
Sure.
And then Jason says Pike was urban sports, men's, and hooks it. Plus, those are 4 to 5 sessions as wide receiver in Bedford.
You played wide receiver.
I did. Yeah. Believe it or not,
Didn't live long.
and they didn't. They did not.
He also rushed for rage too.
I did.
Kicked
man.
out that team so
Hurt
bad.
my shoulder. That's awesome.
All right, bringing top 3.
Tyler Pike, number
All right.
3.
Tyler Pike, are you mad or happy about this right now?
I'll take it.
All right, if you were
No
doing
one's
this list,
complaining.
would you put yourself in the top 3?
I would never make a list. I would never.
Oh,
make the list to be
you pansy. All right, why'd you put him in the top 3? Let's hear it.
So, despite the 2 guys that I put above him, there is no quarterback that is, I believe, harder to play against than Pike. Just when you think you have his offense figured out, he just slaps you in the face with this random shit. And he can put the ball exactly where his receivers need it. Now, that might be a chemistry thing, but I just think Pike's really good at doing that, especially for somebody who I'm pretty sure you've never played quarterback, right?
Never real ball.
Yeah.
Never real ball.
His offense is usually very high powered. Every time we play, either like Gumby's or Milkmen or whatever team he plays for now, it's just really hard to try to read his offense. Like it's always like I think he's in the mind of the defense he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll credit him. As much as I rip on him and tell him he needs tall receivers and stuff like that, he is one of the probably the most accurate quarterback, and he puts it away from the defenders. So he can make receivers who obviously it's been very vocal about how people don't think certain receivers that we like to talk about are good.
Yeah.
But you not that you make them look good, but you put them in position to make those plays. Now, not every quarterback can. So I will credit you for that. What? We got something cooking?
Yeah,
here?
I read it, but we'll wait on that one. We'll wait on that one.
This will be for
Yeah, we'll wait a little bit. All right, yeah, so that's why. So number 2, Garrett from Leapers.
Now, does this piss you off?
No,
it probably does.
I like Garrett. I think he's a great player.
Would you put him over you?
So if you look at it, right? So here's how you
Here
can
we
think
go.
about it. So if every team had a captain, non-player captain, right, and you drafted quarterbacks, right, or you drafted players just to build a team, right? Garrett would go second after you because he can play defense as well. Like if he could only play one position, I don't know if he's going number 2 at the quarterback position. I think I made a list a while ago where he was at 6. So he wasn't top 5, but I'm not going to knock him being at 2. I like him at 2.
You're saying a lot. Are you making a point here?
I don't know.
All right, so what I'm gathering is
Sure.
in a draft style where
Yes,
quarterbacks
correct.
can do other things, he's ranked.
Because
you think he's ranked
he can play
higher than
defense
you.
as well.
Okay.
And that's big. That's a big thing.
That's
you know?
fair.
Sure.
This is not a draft league.
Pike,
So-
just say you're salty that I put him above. Just say
All
it.
right.
No,
So
he just won the A chip.
So this is recency
on top
bias.
right now.
This is honestly recency bias. I watched him play in that A championship, and he was lights out.
He kicked
didn't
our ass.
he didn't miss a throw.
Nope.
Every ball was perfect, and I mean, even having played leapers again, play calling is there, agility is there. He can avoid a sack, and he just maybe it's a chemistry thing with his guys, but the timing on every throw is perfect. There was a lot of windows last session in general, let alone in the A championship, that I don't think there's a lot of people that could fit those throws in that window.
Yeah,
like it was insane.
Absolutely. He throws darts. They're accurate. A lot of timing stuff, which makes even the best defenders look stupid.
A couple comments.
All right, what?
Jason says Tyler is greater than Garrett.
Tyler is greater than Garrett.
Spike's greater than Garrett. And then
Jason who?
Olsen.
Olsen.
All right.
Then Pat Morris. Did
Everybody's
Pike,
entitled to their
Did Pike just stroke out?
I really didn't
Pretty
know where I
much.
was going with that statement.
He was just saying words, and I was trying to decipher his
He was
points.
trying to professionally say that he was mad that I put Garrett above him.
He thinks if these quarterbacks are just quarterbacks on this list, he thinks he's better than Garrett.
Yeah, you just don't want to say the words.
That's right. All right, he admitted it. It's
He's a
fine.
great player. Great player.
And Kyle Bowlen says Justin top 5 QB all day.
I laughed
No,
at
that
it.
must be
He's not top 5.
the whack pack.
And Alex is
Great player. He's ascending, but he's not top 5.
Hey, I love a receiver believing in his quarterback.
Alex
It's his
is,
brother, though.
Alex says
That
Pike,
means even less.
Alex says Pike smells the burnt toast again.
I don't understand the joke, but I'm sure it's
I
funny.
was hoping you would. I remember him saying something like that before, but are we leading up to number 1?
Yeah, you want to
guess
go back
so.
to
Yeah.
Alex's comment, and
Al-
I'll just
Alex
comment
has
on
another
it
comment.
as I say it.
Yeah, so Alex says, I already know who's number 1. Can't be anyone else other than Steve on his podcast.
Yeah,
Where CJ is getting his mic cut.
See, this is why I didn't want to do this list.
I know.
Okay?
So-
I knew that was gonna happen.
Listen, it wasn't that. I mean, Steve's not even the one who invited me on his podcast.
That's
first
right.
off, so don't say that. But yeah, it is Steve. I just think he has all 5. He can move a little bit. But I feel like I've watched rushers kind of struggle against him a little bit.
Not
Just
Booth.
they're not expecting. Not
Not
Booth.
fucking Booth. No, I'm just kidding.
Not Tyler Jones either, but we won't get into that.
In Booth's mind, he gets me every time. Okay? It's not even fair. Tyler will get me sometimes. He's a good rusher. He's just undisciplined. And once he gets a little more disciplined, he'll be very tough.
Yeah, definitely. But no, I mean, Steve can put the ball. He has the timing. He has the play calls. I've played with Steve in the draft tourney, and the play calls were there. Yes, Adam beat us. I'm just going to get it out of the way now. But the play calls were really good. He used me mostly as a second quarterback, but I think it was still. We had a pretty good offense in that tournament, and listen, Nasty Boys is top of Bedford.
Pat
pretty
says,
much.
Some real Steve ball washing going on.
See, this is why we don't do lists. Pat, oh, shut up, Pat.
Pat's going to kick me from Flagnado's group chat now.
Yeah, they need you. Trust me, they suck. Allegedly. All right, well, no, listen. I think that's a good list. Some of it's up for debate.
We'll see how much I get shit talked tomorrow.
No, trust me, not as bad as Pike does on his list. Because this is actually
There you go.
legit. You got some, room for, like error and some debate. But I think you hit a lot of
think-
nails on the head.
I think you said one time that you don't think you're number 1. You said you actually don't believe it. Like, no, you weren't joking. You weren't playing around. I'm wondering who do you believe could be 1? Maybe even not active now. Just anyone.
To you, Tyler Pike. You're the best, buddy.
No, not bullshit. I'm being serious.
Dana Greenwood.
I said
QB
the
Kev.
only person I'm thinking you're thinking is Red. Maybe. And you may not have even been thinking him, but I'm like, because you always, winning is what matters, right? And if you ever, Steve-O's head-to-head match against every single top 10 quarterback not named him, I mean, let's look at it. 8-2, 8-2, and then undefeated against the rest, maybe. So I mean, there's such a. I mean, if you combine that record, we're looking at friggin'. I couldn't even begin to guess. So winning goes.
My team's way better. It's my team that carries me.
Your team is good. I think, like I said, best quarterback, best team.
But you also you elevate teams that you play for.
Oh yeah.
And again, I'm not.
You think Bud?
Shut
you
up,
think
Pat
I elevate
Norris.
Bud?
I'm just talking like you played with Dirty Birds in the co-ed league, and that was probably one of the best sessions we had. And
Yeah.
because we just had and no knock to Jared, because Jared played with us too. Jared just wasn't used outdoors.
I had fun that season. Did we win that season? Or did we lose
I don't
in the
know.
finals?
Oh, that was the session that you lost in overtime because of some crazy call, I think.
No,
I wasn't
we
there.
won in we won in overtime. That might have been the session. Jason's listening, right?
Jason's probably
Jason,
gonna
did
say
we
it in,
win?
like 5. I don't think you did. I feel like because I missed that game.
We won in overtime on a crazy third part, so it's like a gender rule. Girls are more points in this league if a girl throws it or a girl catches it.
Sure.
But if let's say you're on my team and you drop back and I give you the ball and then you throw it to a girl, it's 6 points.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
a
Oh, I
third
didn't
party.
know that.
What?
Couple good comments.
Pat Morris
Alex
is
says, but Steve also stacks his teams.
That's true.
And
yeah.
then
He's
Sean Lord says some brown on your nose. And then Pat,
Who?
Sean Lord.
What was that?
I actually don't.
But
Pat's fun.
Pat said a funny one. It's like, you actually explain your lists. Pike just blows a gasket when talking about lists.
That's true.
Hilarious.
Yes. Jason said we lost because we
When he took
when
out
he
Jay.
took out.
Oh,
Oh,
Joy.
yeah, because you guys only had one girl,
Yeah, okay,
so you had to
yeah.
forfeit. That's
Yeah.
right.
That was one girl, and that was it. Yeah. No, that was a
Tyler
fun
just
season.
confirmed it. Yeah.
That was a good season. I liked that. I enjoyed playing with you guys. It was. I mean, my team was ready to come back, but I was bummed I had to leave you guys. It was fun.
Speaking of bums.
And then you guys beat us in the gym.
Pat says Steve's a professional bum.
Who said it? Pat. Yeah.
Oh, I did promise I was going to call you a bum because he did text me and he was like, "You got to call Steve a bum." So-
What did you tell everybody you were coming on the show?
No, it Well, I told a couple guys like, you guys make sure you watch.
Sean said he's with Urban Sport, and you might know him from Misfits.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry, Sean.
This is a big moment for Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
We finally get to defend ourselves instead of Pike talking shit about us all the time.
On a more serious note, though, I do think that, like I said, Jay, Art. I think Art, I would put him in.
Yeah. All right. Wait, hold on.
Say it,
All
say
right,
it.
Big Mouth. Let's take those 4 or 5 quarterbacks and tell me where
So,
you put them.
No, Art. I'm putting.
So hold on, who are you taking off?
Well, you'd have to bump the bottom 5.
You got it. Yeah.
So essentially, you're bumping Timmy, Omar,
Okay,
Jay, Zach, and Mason.
Jake was missed.
Jake
He's
who?
a big top 10 quarterback. Foresight. for North.
Okay.
Definitely in there. So that was the only. I mean, no.
Yeah, that was a miss. I'm
Okay,
surprised
yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think about that.
No. Yeah, I had thought about that earlier. I was going to mention something, but I had forgot. So Jake, I would put him in at number 4. Insert him right there at number 4. I think.
But you're removing Jared, or you're dropping
so
everybody
everyone
down?
else goes down at least 1.
Okay.
Actually, no. Sorry. I'm going to put Art at 4, Jake at 5. Actually, you know what, Art? I might put Art at
You got this.
2. I'm going to go 2.
Use your big
Art
boy
at
words.
2. So everyone else moves down.
You're putting Art over Garrett?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because you hate Garrett. That makes sense.
I think Art is. I would do that too. Art is
Okay,
really
Art
good.
at 2. Jake at 4. Wow. Actually, maybe Jay at 4. Jake at 5. Oh well, wait. What would have read though? Fuck. I'm really. This is. I gotta just make a goddamn top 10.
Tyler?
It ain't. A healthy red. I don't know. He plays with safety patrol, so maybe he's not. I don't know. Fuck. Phew. Maybe I'll just make a list and I'll have to post it.
Even, okay, moving on. Even
he's
if
gonna
you
have to do it
Red,
live
he's
like
top
I did.
5. Art's top 5. Jay, he's probably top 5 as well.
in Sanford, where do you put him?
Oh, Sanford, he's in the top 10, no
I
doubt.
think he
Randy's
forgot
in the
all
top
my honorable mention.
Dude, so when we're all fully healthy, I mean, we're talking about a stacked top 10 here. I mean, Tambo, Garrett, Pike, Randy, Jay, Art, Red, Sanford. I mean, Jesus. So, I mean, a lot of these guys are now off. But so then
next
that
time
would
you
leave
ask somebody
about
to make a list, just
2 or
make it hard.
3. Whew. It would be tough. It depends on the week. I like Art a lot though. I mean, he just hasn't really been playing enough. But I know what he brings. I know how
Sure.
good he is.
Absolutely.
So I think amongst this list, I would put him in rated top 5. Red top 5. Jay Charles. Whew. Right around top 5. I would say probably top 5 at this point. But then that bumps some of the top 5s out, so it's tough to say. So, but all those guys that aren't in the list would absolutely be in. Even Sanford. I think Sanford's taking a lot of shit. I think he's still really good. I think he's got a big arm. I think he's got good play calling. I think the knock on him is him not playing in the big game. You know what I mean? From what I've heard, at least. I'm not saying that. It's not what I think, but that's just what I've heard. But
I think seeing you rant in person is worse than
so it's tough.
See what I've been dealing with?
So it's tough. But yeah, all of those guys immediately top 10. None of them below 8.
All right, that's a good list. CJ, why don't you you play Mondays and Wednesdays, is that correct?
I do, yes.
Why don't you give me your top, let's say A teams, your A division teams for Monday?
Okay. I'm assuming they're gonna.
You want
pull it?
You can pull it up. I'll dabble a little bit. We like to talk about potential A teams going in.
Definitely.
We don't like to talk about too much during Bedford during the season because it's boring as heck. But
Well, we're in crunch time now. It's playoff time.
We're
Right?
only-
This is week 3, right?
yeah,
Oh, so after this week, we'll be kind of getting ready for playoffs.
getting there.
Yeah.
Why don't? How did your game go this week? I know you've been
I
itching to
told
talk
him,
about.
I've been telling him. I literally sent Johnny a text that said, "Me and Cam are with Gumbies now. No more free win against these guys." Because when I played with them, they always said, "We beat these guys every time." They're like,
That's
"We're
fair.
gonna win." And I told him. I texted him. And then I saw John Senior before the game. I told him. I said, "Who you taking?" I said, Are you picking the underdogs?" And he's like, "Who's the dogs?" I said, "You guys, 2.5 points." And he said, "I'm throwing all my money on it." So I told him. I warned him, and we beat him. But they're a good team. I know they're better than.
You say you beat them. What was the score here?
21-0.
Okay.
I think that both teams, especially them, obviously, we know if we play them again, there's not going to be a game like that. We actually both teams started slow. We ended up getting a little bit going. But they're not a team you want to see again at any point,
Sure.
especially in the playoffs.
Sure.
But
Now,
I'm looking forward to
I
it.
might be lost. What game are we talking about right now?
we're talking Gumbies and Natty D's.
Oh, okay.
And in the Gumbies' defense, I guess Natty D's used to score a lot of points against them.
Yeah.
Consistently.
No, letting up 0 points is no.
That's insane.
That's
That's nuts.
it's got to be noted.
So
for
the
sure.
Gumbies' defense, at least
Oh yeah.
in
2
short term.
takeaways, I believe. I think a couple goal line stops. I mean.
What do we got, Ben?
I was going to read this one on the air, but it's kind of funny. Pat's being a dick again. Like,
Oh, shocker.
He's like, yeah, what the F did that kid just say?
Oh, for his rant. I was like, what is he
Yeah,
talking about?
don't worry about it, Pikey. It's all right. He's tearing up. Over
I mean,
there. Come on.
I've drafted this kid a couple times in the draft tourney. I mean, I don't really know what more he wants me to do I really don't know.
We gotta remember, Tyler can barely drink. Okay, he's still sensitive. So, all right, big win for Gumbies. I wouldn't have picked you guys to win, so I'll be honest.
I knew we were going to win. I was actually quite confident. I'm not.
Well,
I
false
learned from
confidence, still
Slipstream.
confidence.
Oh, sure. I've learned
I mean,
from,
Kenny Wheels walks around the building like he's a good player. We all know the truth.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I knew they didn't have Austin either. He's out for the session, and that's a big loss. That's their starting corner, starting receiver.
It
So
hurts.
huge
That,
loss.
I'm not knocking him, but they have players to fill those roles. It's not like
It's not like I know, but it's still a big loss.
it's not like
they need him.
It's not like Nasty Boys loses a starting safety, and I got Connor McGann out there playing corner. No offense, Connor.
You lose Adam, and you at least if you're Louis started as well. But I was gonna say if Louis is replacing Adam, I mean at least you have someone. You know what I mean?
correct.
Someone that is
But-
good and can hold.
But we're missing Kenny. We're missing
No,
Adam.
no,
We're
no,
missing,
yeah, no
but
doubt, no
That
doubt.
was my point. Like,
Yeah.
They have a big bench. They got guys who can
They do,
fill that
they do,
role. But
they
yes,
do.
he is one of the top corners. It's
Yeah.
hard to replace that regardless. So, all right, CJ, let's get in your. Let's assume potential 6 A division teams on Mondays.
All right, that was gonna be my question. Are we doing 4 or 6?
Potential 6. You give top 4 because there's always going to be a 4 in the A's,
The obvious ones like
And
Nasty
then-
Boys.
and then throw your 2. Well, he always does 4 A division teams,
Right.
At least in the recent years.
I don't. Who is patriotically? And I don't even know who that is. Patriotically incorrect. I don't know who that is. We're starting Mondays, right? We're looking at Wednesdays.
All right. Well, they're on field 2, so they're probably not that.
I'm
good.
just reading a team that I have no idea who it is. So it's obviously going to be your Nasty Boys, your Young Ones, Too Nasty. I don't know. Maybe.
You think too nasty, or maybe?
I kind of just quickly skimmed. I think Mambas is primed for it, but I actually don't know if they beat Slackers this past week.
Oh, they
'Cause
might have lost.
When I was looking, it looked like it was close. So
Slackers,
if anybody's watching, can you
dark
let me
horse
know?
team.
But yeah, I mean, Nasty Boys, Young Ones. Jeez.
I'd put Steamboats up there. Right
yeah,
now.
see, I didn't even see them.
So the issue remains, talent-wise, on Mondays is still not at the Wednesday level.
Definitely.
I feel like that's been that's dating back to Rage and Mamas. I feel like that was an issue then, where them two they play in the championship every time. There'd be no other teams that could compete, and then it's kind of similar now, except Rage and Mamas aren't in it. You guys are in it with Young Ones, so maybe two not as big heavyweights. Maybe you guys as good as you guys are, but
Think Whack Pack makes it up to A's this time?
I don't know.
I don't know
because-
what their record is.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, last Mondays, what were they? Were they B2 or something?
Did they win B2 or B1?
No, they were B2 on Wednesdays. I think they were B1 on Monday.
I think you're switching it. They were definitely B1 on Wednesday,
So yeah,
So
maybe
it was
they
also
should.
the other way around.
so it must have been
Yeah,
B2 on Mondays.
I would say them. I haven't looked at
Yeah.
the team list, but I would assume.
Yeah,
They know what
Mambas
they're
won a couple Bs in a row.
Yeah,
Might have
yeah.
been B2, then B1, or 2 B1s in a row. So I think they're primed to be in the A's.
Definitely. So, I mean, I'd probably go Nasty Boys, Young Ones, Steamboats. I'm going to say Mambas for that 4th spot,
Yeah.
depending on how that Slackers game went.
That's fair. I like. Who are you playing with?
Is Art throwing for you on Mondays?
He's just filling in.
Okay, so he's not going to be in there in the playoffs. He's not going to be.
Well,
I don't know if I would
It
even
depends.
put
I'm
six.
getting him 3 games.
I mean,
Because if I ain't feeling it, he's coming in.
Deuce, right? Or was he just filling in as well?
No, Deuce is on the team.
Tang.
Tang's on
So
the team.
you guys should. I mean, this should be a victory. You should put your sweatshirt orders in now. You guys are going to
No,
win
I
this.
never win my games before I play them.
You're going to win.
I mean, I see
on record
LBP, but I don't. Again, I haven't really watched them since they came back.
Shotgunners in. They might make a push in A's. But they got a bunch of bums on the team.
No comment.
What teams are you playing for on Mondays right now? Same Raw Dogs and Dirty Birds?
Yeah, Dirty Birds and Raw Dogs.
Okay.
We were kind of struggling this session. We got a lot of new guys on both teams.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Raw Dogs going to move up from the C's at any point in time? Or?
So we've already determined that even if what happens every session, which is we end up somehow going 2-4 because we play 4 good teams, we just lose barely. We're going to request to not be in C's because
Okay.
every time we play in C's, it's just not fair.
Yeah. Not fun.
No, it's I said to the guys before the session, I was like, I don't really want another C hoodie. It's,
Right.
There's no point. I would rather lose a B championship than win a C championship.
And honestly, Raw Dogs have come a long way over the past year or so. You know, they kind of, no offense to those guys, and said it was kind of a joke team and a fun team, but now
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
now you guys win, now you guys play good together. Like it's like a want, you know?
The funny thing about Raw Dogs is that everybody, like the whole that we have lived in C's thing, I laugh at it because we've only ever been in C's twice, and we won the championship both times.
Oh, I thought it was a few more than that.
No, we've
Oh,
only
okay.
ever been in C's twice, and we won the championship twice.
Oh, all right.
Every other session, it's been B, B2, B1. We've even been in A's before.
Yeah,
when
no.
Rage and Yo Mamas were a thing, we were in A's. That was back when Timmy was throwing. But,
Yeah.
we've never been like. I love that's the we were the joke team. Like we were actually pretty good. And there are guys on our team that
I say it from when I was reffing.
Right,
You know,
right.
so it,
No, I
it was
agree
a
with
clear
you.
distinction. All right, we're going to put decent, you know,
Yeah.
and we're going to split up a little bit. But
there are guys on Raw Dogs that are A-level talent. They're just on a team that's stuck where
Right.
they're at. Like my brother is way better than me. I hope he's not watching and he didn't hear me just say that. Then we got Dom Catuli, who that kid torches everybody. It's insane.
yeah.
Like I can just throw the ball and he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of good talent on that team. All right, we'll move on to Wednesdays.
I'm on
What-
two teams on Wednesdays.
You're on 2 teams?
Yeah, Pickle Dicks, and I throw for Pickle Dicks, and I play for Dirty Birds.
How's that going with Pickle Dicks?
We're just kind of getting used to each other.
Yeah.
But we played you guys in week 1, and I know you guys were missing Dave Cap and a
It was a
couple
good game,
guys,
though.
but we
It was a good
only
game.
lost by 1 score, and it came down to the end. It
Yeah.
was, what, 53-47 or something like that?
Something. It was.
And we
something
only had
high,
5.
Shit like that. Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it was,
really?
It was me, and my brother Riley, Coop, David, and Jeremy. That was it. The whole
Really?
game. That was the whole
Wow.
game. And then last week we played the North, and it came down
Came
to
down to the wire.
You saw
Yeah.
it. It came
Yeah.
down to the last play. Like it was 35-28, I think. So we just got to get used to each other. And last week was the first week we actually had a roster. Like Arlen was there last week and a couple other guys. We're still missing guys. Like Chris Yim is supposed to be on the team. He hasn't been there yet.
Yeah.
Dirty Birds, it's Dirty Birds. We'll see how it goes. We destroyed Get Plucked in week 1, and then we played you guys last week.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm pretty. I said to the guys after, I was like, I'm pretty sure Steve had all his guys in the parking lot and just wanted us to have hope, and then just texted them to come inside so that they could demolish us in the second half.
There was actually a text
Alleged.
chain going on while we were warming up and get ready, and it ended up with, I'm missing the game, I'm going to be late, all this, and then Tang jumps in and goes, Steve hates us right now. Yeah. And I'm out there with 4 guys, and we're begging Danny Cruz to leave his own team to come over and just be our fit.
Yeah.
And I'm out there playing defense and yelling at guys, and
I got a pick right in the beginning. I'm like, oh, this might be interesting. And then here comes Tang. Freaking everybody else shows up at
Yeah.
halftime.
yeah, it was like NWO coming through the doors to save us. So,
That was good.
what are you thinking for a top? Were you part of any of the 8 A division teams
Yeah, Dirty Birds.
Okay. Did you like the 8?
So I didn't.
No.
Because I think that there was too much of a skill gap between A8 and A4. Like
Okay.
I just feel like I don't think any of the 4 and under teams won, right? Wasn't it all the A2, A1, A2, A3, A4?
Slipstream was
They were-
5, but they beat the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I don't think any of those teams won. Like,
Sure.
it was like not even close. Like I think we played. Who did we play? Was it you?
Play us, I think.
No, we played. Yeah,
think
you demolished us.
It
Like-
ended up being close. You guys kind of started pulling it together at the end.
Oh, that was the one Timmy.
Yeah, that was the game that
benched
Timmy
himself.
just benched himself. I guess is what you want to call it. When really we just like there's just no point.
Yeah,
He was just
yeah.
like, dude, just throw. I was like, okay. Yeah, and then I think Get Plucked got killed too. So it was like
Yeah.
all the teams that were A5 and down, there was nothing. Like,
Yeah.
there was no point.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to hear all aspects of, I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on it. I liked it, but I'm always wanting more teams in the A division, but not if it's not fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if the teams are getting killed, I mean, you know what I mean? I guess it would really be up to them. You know what I mean? You ask
Right.
Jay or any Get Plucked, would they rather do that, play you guys in round 1 and get...
Well, Get Plucked wanted to be in the A's.
Killed.
They thought
Okay,
they had
no,
an A
yeah, that's
team,
fine. Then
but
if-
they were kind of pissed they had to play us.
Sure. Yeah,
because we had some same players,
No, yeah.
It's my dad. That's my dad.
Oh, boy.
So his dad says, I still just play for fun because I'll never have talent like Steve Tambo.
So now, if anybody's kissing Steve Tambo's ass, it's my dad. Just so we're
Listen,
clear, Pat Morris, it's not me.
Didn't we see your dad just juke out a young 21-year-old?
That was the greatest moment of my dad's career. I think he's probably watched that video like 15 times.
I mean, we did on the show. Now, shout out your dad. I like him. Except when I'm reffing him. He's annoying. What? No, I'm just kidding. One of the most fun teams to ref, in my opinion.
Jason Olsen says, I'd rather battle in A as a low seed than stuck in B's forever slapping teams.
Sure.
I agree, but like at the same time, I don't have fun playing in A's and just getting demolished.
Yeah, so it's like it's finding
Like
that
if we play in
line, you know
A's
what I
and
mean?
we lose by like a score, and I'm gonna say a genuine score because, like I said, it was garbage time when we came back against Gumby's and they put freaking Tyler in a corner. Like, come on.
Yeah,
I think my
Booth is
first
like, all right,
touchdown-
if we get to 30 by halftime, I'm leaving. So we ended up
Booth
getting
literally
to 30.
left, and then Tyler goes in
I
the
know,
corner, and I think my first
Getting
touchdown was
cooked.
over your
I was
head.
getting cooked out
It's
there.
a Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a bad day.
Press shout out Preston taking notes that they had to make sure that you were the one who gave it up. I
Yeah,
love those
no
notes.
shout out to Preston. He made it sound like I stole Timmy's job.
It might have been the way I read it. I'm not sure. You know,
You guys are trying to cause drama.
No. He was. Oh, I was.
Like,
yeah, I was.
you
yeah.
definitely were.
Yeah, I was trying to get Jason going. So, all right. Well, that was a great list. Appreciate you coming on the show. We're gonna quickly talk about Best of Bedford, October 15th. Get your teams in. Right now, we got 11 teams signed up. I think our cap is 12. Unfortunately, I can't really run more. Like I can't do 13, 14. It might be a weird number. I'd have to do 15. So if you're one of those teams on the out, get your team in now. We got 11 already signed up and ready to go. Should be a good one. We'll probably come out with some power rankings for the tournament, Best of Bedford. But 350, 4-game minimum. Starts at 4 p.m. Normal Bedford rules because it is a Best of Bedford tournament. And again, no roster. So you want to put your own team in, you never had a team, go right ahead.
So Steve's gonna assemble the Avengers.
Yep, pretty much. He's already got Shizzy.
I
Didn't
know.
even have time.
I know. He
goes.
He left me.
I heard
He's not playing with you now.
No.
I
Who's
heard
he playing
Rage
with?
and Cash Outs
Rage.
combining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard Rage and Cash
Great.
Outs combining.
That's gonna be
So
awesome.
That'll be awesome.
Can't wait to play them.
Can't wait to play in bees.
I mean, depending on how it turns out, we
And
might.
is it one big playoff bracket?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
it's not, okay.
If I get 12, which I should, no, we're gonna do 2. How many? I don't know yet. It depends on where I see. It might just be 4 A teams fighting for
Wow.
the top.
Woo.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because
And this is based off record, right? This
Round-
isn't gonna
round
be
robin
so,
record,
so
right.
say like, so say Milkmen, Nasty Boys and Raids, right? We draw, and we go. Oh, and it's 2 playing or 3?
3.
Okay. So say we go 1 and 2, we're gonna be in the Bs. So there's no like, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Lock it.
I need to weigh it out a little bit.
No. Yeah.
But I'm thinking either 6 and 6 or 4 and 8. The way the teams, in my opinion, are stacking as A and B division. But for sure, we're doing A and B division. Prizes up to wazoo. And I got another banner to give to the winners. And yeah, that's really it. Get your teams in. You guys have anything you want to bring to the show before we end it up?
So
Ben's got a hot date. He's got
I
to
know.
get
He's
out
looking
of
at his phone. He's like, I gotta go,
Yeah.
man. This is taking too long.
He's got to get to the GOAT. He's got a concert.
Wheeler Walker Jr.
I don't think anybody knows who
Yeah,
that is.
who is that?
He's the guy that on the.
You said that
like
very
on
confidently,
on
like other people were gonna know who
okay,
that was.
You know him from the Instagram or TikTok.
I
He's the
don't
one who's
think
gonna
I would.
Drop him out and let me see them titties. He's the.
That's the guy
That's-
you're leaving the
that's the
show
guy
early to
you're-
go
Exactly,
see?
yeah.
That's the guy you're
Exactly.
itching to stop the
Hilarious.
show.
It's hilarious.
Back to blaming Isaac for this type of stuff. You know.
No, I appreciate you guys
It's not
inviting
my
me.
fault he's
Well,
not here.
Pike, I guess, inviting me.
Hey, listen, I gave the power to Pike, so it's kind of like my idea.
like I'm happy you came on the show. Like don't get it twisted. But I was like 0 for 20. I was literally about to be like, yo, Steve. Like I was about to just lie and be like, yo, someone just backed out last second, so he didn't think I like didn't attempt. You
Oh,
know what
I
mean?
was getting pissed. I
No,
didn't
I
think you were
know.
doing anything.
No,
I
you
gave
said-
you 2 weeks to
No,
get
no,
it done.
You reached out Thursday. And
Did
you're
he
like,
tell you I was coming?
When did you tell me? Yesterday?
right when he
I was gonna
said
say,
he
did I
could,
show up
told
at your
you.
house and you go, "Who the hell
No,
is
no,
pulling
he
into
told
my
me, he
parking
told me.
lot?"
No, no,
but I think
so-
it was Sunday. I yelled at him.
Dude,
I'm like,
Thursday
yo.
you texted me like
you
it's
better-
Thursday, like what's going on? And I didn't answer until like Saturday. I'm like, oh, I'll lock someone in today. But then it was another 2 days because I didn't have anyone. I thought it was gonna be easy. I actually reached out to Cap, Olsen, Cam. I mean, dude, I reached out to McDonald, just a bunch of people, and they're all like, ah, man, I can't this week. I'm like, this is bullshit. And I was like, all right. I thought he was not on Tambo Feud.
No, we
I
almost were.
thought he was. I don't know why I thought he was. Like, I thought I watched an episode with.
No, me and
You
Olsen
frickin' idiot.
thought about it, but
That would've
we
been
ended up-
cool.
We couldn't have done it.
I would have
It would
loved
have been fun to do a Dirty Birds versus like Nasty Boys or Drug
Gumbies.
TDs.
Yeah.
Tambo feud. By the way, last week I
How
just
do we
gotta
sign up
say,
for that?
I just gotta say to Franklin for saying the Raw Dogs jerseys are the worst jerseys. I'm very mad at him for that. The old ones, I'll agree with him. Those green ones were horrible.
I
But
thought
our
the
new ones
fucking
are
Nasty
pretty
Boys
nice.
yellow and those things. I thought those things were kind of classic. They might have been not too great, but like I wouldn't have put those in the worst jerseys.
I was also like just like watching normal Family Feud. I was like yelling at the phone, like answers, and I was like, "Come on,
yeah.
guys, figure it out."
yeah.
It's kind of a fun game. I like doing it. It's tough coming up with questions.
How do we sign
but-
up for that? I'm trying to get Gumbies in there.
Why?
Why
What do you mean? I talked about it on the show. I said, let me know if you want to be a part of it.
No, I do.
Tyler
I'm
doesn't watch
always
the show.
down.
It's too
Confirmed.
late now. I got the championship match coming up.
Dude, you're gonna do 2.
You got round 2 then.
That, man.
Like,
All right, we'll do it again if it works out.
Work.
It's tough coming up with questions.
I'll do the surveying. If you
Well,
want
you
me to.
can't. You
No,
can't.
no, true. Yeah, I can't do both. No,
All right,
I get it.
what,
but
Ben? What
for
do
the
we got?
future.
We got nothing. Oh,
Nothing.
All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. Well, hopefully, we'll have a longer show, something more next week. We'll have producers who actually care about the show. So, all right. Good night, Grace. Thank you. Love you, Adam. He's working right now. Kids work 12 hours today. Kid's insane.
Shout out to Danny Cruz. Happy birthday. Our number
Danny
one
Cruz.
fan.
Happy birthday, Danny.
Shout out Jay Burris. He's been working all day too.
Bedford Games. Yup. Bedford Games. Let's fucking go. Bedford Games. Let's put on a show. Bedford Games. You already know. Bedford Games. We're going 6-0.